In 2013, researchers at Oxford University did a study on the future of work. They concluded that almost 1 in every 2 jobs have a high risk of being automated by machines, and that by the year 2035, they estimated that over 50% of our jobs will have been replaced by machines. The simplest way to stay out of danger? Stay in school. As soon as you graduate from college, it will be easier for you to find a job. But when you finish up your schooling, what's next? If you want to avoid being replaced by robots, when that time does come, there are a few other things that you can do. Take classes and certifications in high-tech areas like computer programming and accounting. Take on unpaid internships to gain experience and make connections. Keep updating your skills through continuing education, start freelancing or consulting, or get into politics. Hi guys, and welcome to GenXYZ Finance and Technology, where we tailor data into more comprehensible information for our curious audiences who are in a hurry just like you. Now before we start, you may want to consider hitting that subscribe button to keep seeing informative tech videos and practical financial tips. Machines are going to outperform humans at some tasks, especially repetitive ones. If you want to stay relevant, you'll have to do something that requires a human touch and/or emotional intelligence. This would either be creative work, non-rote tasks, or tasks that require instinct, like sales or nursing. Jobs that involve routine tasks will be easier to outsource and replace by machines. In this video, we're going to give light to the 10 human jobs that will be replaced by robots in the next few decades. Number 1. Drivers. The introduction of self-driving cars and fully autonomous vehicles is a forecast that human drivers will soon disappear. Self-driving cars nowadays have safety features built into their design, including sensors that detect objects in a vehicle's path and braking systems designed to avoid accidents, even if a person were driving the car manually. As this continues to improve, robotic cars will be the go-to cars for all people because they save lives by eliminating human error. And let's face it, with so many people texting while driving these days, humans are not making a good case to stay behind the wheel. Google's Waymo company, which has been testing a large fleet of self-driving vehicles for almost a decade in Arizona and California, is compiling a massive trove of data to support the change to driverless cars. Once their findings are made public, insurance companies, employers, and even a large section of the public will clamor for automated vehicles to take over. This trend is already underway in the long-haul trucking industry, where delivery patterns are impeded by the fact that a human needs to sleep or rest a couple of hours every day. With no rest stops, no driver salaries, and greater road safety, autonomous trucks are definitely coming soon. Number 2. Receptionists. With auto check-ins becoming popular in both large and small hotels, there will be a lesser need for front desk receptionists in the long run. In many of them, you will check in on a phone and check out on your phone. Just leave the key card in the room, please. Let's not forget that the mini fridge in your room already has auto sensors for every item in there, so don't move anything or you just bought a candy bar for $10. Computer and mobile devices will take care of every aspect of your business, from dictation to scheduling meetings, making calls, collecting surveys, handling faxes, field work, and interfacing with the public. A simple tablet will greet visitors to companies, allowing them to enter their name and reason for visiting. Even old-school functions of a receptionist or secretary, such as making coffee, are now easily automated. Servers at restaurants and cafeterias are even starting to be replaced by iPads or kiosks that provide self-service food options. Capitalists market it as something as a quote-unquote introvert haven, where you don't have to interact with other people to get what you want. Number 3. Construction workers. Automation in construction is already happening. Construction companies are now using robotic bricklaying machines such as SAM by Construction Robotics that can lay up to 1,000 bricks per day, and about 10 times more than what a human bricklayer can do. According to a study by MIT researchers Marcus Klein and Stefano Erman, these machines have the potential to reduce costs in the construction sector from $7.5 billion in 2009 to $3 billion annually, benefiting not only project financiers but also subcontractors who would normally be held up waiting on brickwork. With the widespread use of automation and robotics in construction, it can be imagined that manpower will slowly be phased out. Number 4. Security guards. The evolution of technology has introduced tremendous changes in the field of security. Facial recognition systems and high-tech robotic guards can be utilized to maintain security rather than having a person impose it by going on rounds with a weapon. In the decades to come, there will be remote-controlled robots that patrol an area looking for any unusual activity. They will take video footage and transmit live images to a monitoring station. Such systems are now being used in Taiwan, where from 1 to 5 robot guards are deployed on patrol duty daily. These robots can be effective as they can keep a careful watch on every nook and corner of a building to detect any suspicious activity or person entering the premises. Another security application of robotics is in the form of surveillance drones or unmanned aerial vehicles. Roofs are a favorite target of criminals since the breaking and entering happens out of the sight of line of people on the ground. Drones give security teams an eye in the sky to prevent this. Number 5. Soldiers. Soldiers too are at risk of being replaced by robots. There is an increased use of robots to perform military operations such as intelligence, surveillance, and bomb defusing. However, robots cannot yet be expected to perform complex operations in confined spaces or at night. Assuming future wars will be fought in a traditional way, it's not hard to envision armies of giant mechanized machines doing battle while being controlled by quote-unquote gamers at the Pentagon or the Kremlin. Of course, scenarios where two armies would meet on a battlefield are becoming outdated. Newer trends are heading towards cyber warfare done anonymously, which seeks to injure an opponent while claiming innocence of any wrongdoing. It's more likely that the end of the world will happen in a giant video game and not a Terminator apocalypse. This new concept will likely make warfare more efficient and safer for humans, but it raises concerns about whether humans can trust robots with their lives. Unfortunately, it's unlikely that robots could ever reach a level of intuitive skill to provide the same sense of security as a soldier does for their fellow soldiers. But with the rate of advancements, we still can't deny the possibility of a future where battlefields are filled with robots, one that will follow orders but also equipped with AI for decision-making ability. A logical extension for military robot use would be in a special ops role where high casualties are likely for humans. Snatch and grabs or assassination schemes could be led by indestructible metal commandos without the same level of danger that SEALs or Rangers might experience. Number 6. Farmers. Once upon a time, a long time ago, farming was a huge employer throughout most countries. This has changed dramatically over the last 100 years because of the advancement of farming technology. Back-breaking work that was passed on from people to animals has now been delegated to super-efficient machinery. In some larger operations, farming has already been automated and reduced to a few specially trained individuals that operate heavy machinery from the comforts of the office via wireless connections. From giant animal feedlots to vast corporate acreages, machines are being brought into service everywhere. Some tedious and dangerous line work, such as in chicken processing, will eventually be replaced by machines capable of accurate maneuvers, eliminating both safety problems and salaries. Number 7. Paralegals. Law firms began experimenting with software to streamline document review in the early 2000s, and today there are well-funded entrepreneurs working on AI to replace the entire firm. Lawyers are safe for now, but paralegals, who previously handled the bulk of administrative tasks, are deemed certain to be replaced. As law firm automation continues to pick up steam, it's important that firms and attorneys invest in training their paralegals and lawyers on how to adapt. In a future where the legal industry is completely automated, the practice of law will evolve in unexpected ways. In the relative near-term, automation will bring with it a host of advantages: faster turnaround times, more efficient systems, more accurate output, and higher productivity. There are already legal services online that can crank out documents for most purposes and cost a fraction of what a person would charge. Number 8. Stockbrokers. A study done by Bloomberg in late 2015 discovered that only 10% of the stocks traded on a daily basis worldwide are traded by actual humans and investors, and the rest, well, they're bots. Wherever there's money, someone will try to automate it and get an edge against their competitors. The stock market is the perfect place for automation. With millions of records and numbers to crunch and predict, a machine can usually make the fastest possible trade. The power available to anyone with a cell phone is magnitudes greater than any Wall Street stockbroker would have had back in the 1980s and 90s. Platforms like Robinhood, Webull, and Acorns have given control of executing stock trades to average people while also eliminating most fees. Number 9. Doctors. Robots have long been assisting highly skilled medical professionals like doctors and anesthesiologists in their medical tasks. In some cases, robots have been aiding humans in performing common surgeries or tasks where a steady hand is necessary. Now it appears that as technology develops and robots become more sophisticated, they may eventually replace doctors as well. The biggest impact of robotics will be in the medical field, says Dr. Roboticist Vijay Kumar in an interview with The New Yorker. He continues, "We can have minimally invasive surgery. Kumar is currently working on a highly advanced robotic system that mimics the human nervous system and spinal cord called Spinal Robotic System. It provides feedback to surgeons based on their manipulation of a surgical instrument that is in the hands of the robot." These kinds of robots can already be found assisting surgeons during minimally invasive surgeries. Although it may still be a long time until robots completely replace doctors, doctors may start to be reliant to their technology, which will possibly make their hands-on skills decline. There may come a time that they are only employed in the hospital for their theoretical knowledge of medicine. Number 10. Actors. Yep, as much as they seem to be safe from all the roboticization of stuff, they actually are just as vulnerable to it as the others. Human actors are really expensive and constitute a large share of the budget in a production. Action movies pay more than most because they need to employ stuntmen, plus a budget for medical expenses if something happens. And let's not forget about the huge insurance policies a film or TV production has to carry to cover their big-name talent. With this, more blockbusters are turning to animation and CGI, where they can manipulate their actors to do whatever the script tells them to do without endangering their lives or the hassle of doing retakes. No one really knows for sure what the future holds for Hollywood entertainment, but there are some significant changes happening now that make animation and robotics a bit more likely. With new AI tech becoming more sophisticated, they could even start generating their own content with text-to-speech technology or whatever other means of making them seem like people without actually being people. We have no chance of competing against machines on frequent high-volume assembly line tasks, but there are things we can do that machines cannot do. They can't handle things they haven't seen many times before. The fundamental limitation of machine learning is that it needs to learn from large volumes of past data. Humans don't. We have the ability to connect seemingly disparate threads to solve problems we've never seen before. Are you expecting a rise of the machines that will take over humanity? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and consider clicking that notification bell to keep updated on our latest videos. We'll see you in the next video.